Hello. I probably sound terrible still. There we go, I got it kind of loud enough. I spent most of yesterday sounding like a dragon. Alright. Where were we? We were at volume 14, right? I will blame it entirely on Gary. I felt fine until the end of that stream, and like as soon as that stream ended, I was like, oh no. Hold on, I'm pulling my blanket from my futon. I will be a little baby about this cold. I always am. I ate so much raspberry sorbet yesterday. Just because it tasted good and it made my throat feel better. Ah! Tangled up in the... Ow, fuck. Tangled up in the blankets. Okay. So, volume 14. This is a dark world. Both because it's night and because of the brutal struggle for survival among its polyhemocratic inhabitants, many of whom seem to thrive on havoc and carnage. You'll be interested to see the Michelin Guide entry for Alternia. You're convinced that after a day here, I don't know how to pronounce that name. I know I should, but I have no idea. Hold on. Like, I have read that name many times. Anne Rand? Would sign up with the Little Sisters of the Poor. Genghis Khan and Attila the Hun would join the Quakers, and Adolf Hitler would seek membership with the World Peace Council. Well, that's a hell of a description. I would argue it, but no, that's kind of, yeah. Phew. Godwin's Law alert. Feeling a little dramatic tonight. What is Godwin's Law? Hold on. No, that's still not a toy sushi. Did I close my drawer tighter than usual? Oh. Okay. Give me that. Oh, me? Yes. Oh, okay. Where are you? You're behind me. Okay. So I see we have both ends of the spectrum. We got tall and tiny. We're gonna start with tall. Oh, that is really loud. What the fuck? There. You know what? I don't think MC mentioned friendship this time. You're right. They completely strayed from their calls. Despite a certain sense of pervading existential gloom that you haven't managed to shake even after communing with a possible oracle/secret agent, you are feeling pretty alright. That was a lot of talking for one breath. No more brooding in your cliffside apartment. You have a fresh thirst this evening. A thirst for friendship. There we go. You're wandering around a neighborhood you haven't seen in a while, just a few blocks from where you crash landed. Maybe you'll go pay a visit to the crash site of your ship, even though it's long since been stripped for parts by the local population. Or maybe you'll try to find Demon to say hi, even though you're pretty sure he's still living the nomadic shrubbery lifestyle. I like the title. I like the titles of these. They're always fun. You're just here for the nostalgia, honestly. I don't know how to say that word. Malaise? What does that even... Hold on. What does that mean? General feeling of discomfort, illness, or uneasiness whose exact cause is difficult to identify. Just feels like most of my anxiety. Malaise who? You hardly know her. Just then, from across the street echoed two voices raised in argument. Oh, this is always great. Let's get ourselves into the middle of a fucking argument. Well, one is soft and murmuring, and one is loud and honking. A rust-blood girl and a purple-blood guy are squared off in front of a patch of graffiti that blooms over the bricks like moss. The girl appears to be in the process of scrubbing it away. There's a mop bucket and a collection of sponges next to her. And I told you, this shit is sacred motherfucking iconography. Sacred motherfucking iconography, the purple blood is saying. So fuck the hell off, little red dumpling. I hope I failed at talking this around me. There we go. By the time I finish this stream, I will be cocooned completely in my blanket. I'm already like halfway there. The rustblood says something back that makes him laugh. The sacred iconography appears to be a collection of swear words and a couple colorful renderings of certain sections of troll anatomy you have not yet had the chance to explore. Oh, why does MC sound vaguely excited by this? They really are. The girl with the bucket wrings her sponge out and stares the clown down. Well, you assume she's staring him down. She's wearing big round goggles to match the bright rubber gloves pulled all the way up to her elbows. Oh, hiccup. Despite the mop bucket, she looks more like a scientist from a B-grade horror movie than a janitor. Yeah, true. I mean, not saying that I don't share those thoughts. Where was I going with that thought? I have no idea. The purple blood doesn't have any visible weapons on him, but that doesn't make him but that doesn't make him look any less dangerous. Unless the girl has a blade in that mop handle, she's totally defenseless. Though I do have to say, at the beginning, the first like several chapters, anytime somebody tried to flirt with MC was just like, nope, we just here for friendship. And now we're talking about not having the chance yet to explore certain parts of troll anatomy. You've faced this precise scenario more than once, but it doesn't get any easier. No matter how much self-confidence you earn through, or hardships you endure, life or death friendship decisions don't get any easier. I feel like the mind your own business for once in your life has the implication of just being mind your own fucking business for once in your life. I'm gonna start with that one, because I feel like that's the one that'll end in failure. Because we'll walk away from them. True. We do have, like, plenty of friends now. So, I guess MC, it can look for other things. Understandable. We're minding our own business. Listen, you aren't the goddamn alien special forces. You aren't the friendship police. You can't afford to insert yourself into the middle of every single altercation in hopes that the drunken gamble of destiny will offer up new and greater connections into your sore, tired ass. Onto your sore, tired ass. You aren't made of goodwill alone. Everyone needs breaks, man. You march casually by, hands behind your back. If you knew how to whistle, you would. Nothing to see here, folks. Oh, MC doesn't know how to whistle. I don't know how to whistle either. Many people have tried to teach me and none have succeeded. I don't want that one. I'm looking for this lip balm. All my life, people have said, "Oh, it's so easy. You just do this," and then give me some kind of like really detailed explanation. I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Feet smack the ground behind you, and the girl runs by, surprisingly spry in the rubber boots. Not spry enough, apparently, because the high blood is hot on her heels. Nope, not helping. Definitely not. Don't get involved. Don't get involved. You already made your choice. You're not getting involved. At the last moment, you stick out one of your famous legs. Sorry. At the last moment, you stick out one of your famous legs and the clown goes flying. He hits the pavement hard, nose first. Wait, how is this the route where we make friends? Son of a bitch. There you went and got involved. The high blood might be kissing concrete, but he won't be for very long, and it's tough to kill a clown. It's tough to kill a clown might be something I incorporate into, like, my daily sayings. You take this opportunity to get the fuck out. Damn, you don't know anybody around here. Maybe you can run back to your stolen vehicle before... Hands grab you by the back of the hoodie, hauling you around the corner and into the shadows of an alleyway. Shit, clown must have friends. And those friends must have circled around behind you. You open your mouth to scream, not because you think anyone's going to help you, just because you might as well. If you can't go out fighting, you might as well go out making as much noise and being as obnoxious as possible. A rubber gloved hand slaps over your mouth before you get out more than a squeak. You taste soap. Listen, the clown pope complimented their legs and they are milking that for all it's worth. True. I mean, if the clown pope complimented my legs, I'd also milk it for all it's worth, so... But I'd also, like, go out of my way to make friends with the clowns. So, because, the one we've met has been very entertaining. Chill. Stop struggling. It's the Rust Blood girl. She's taken the time you bought her and cashed it in to take refuge in an alleyway. The two of you hold still as the purple blood storms by, stomping and cursing and bleeding from a gash across his forehead. What? Oh, there's his void. Very nice. Ah, you did that. Your leg did that. You will never get over the rush you receive from doing something cool and competent. Marcy holds onto you until the sound of his footsteps fade. You feel her heartbeat hammering against your back. She lets you go and slides away to the other side of the alley, as if an apology for being so close to you before. Her boots squeak. You take a few steps nearer so you don't have to shout to be heard. You thank her for helping. You're both just all about helping, apparently. You decide not to mention the part where you tried very hard not to get involved. Oh, hello, Sushi. Would you like to get comfy now? I'll stop moving my camera around. Okay. Yeah. You didn't have to do that. Actually, you shouldn't have. I'm perfectly capable of tripping my own clowns. You tell her you have no doubt that's true. Even if she doesn't have a sword in her mop handle, she seems to have a good pair of legs. Wait, no, come back! Mentioning her mop appears to remind her that she left all her cleaning equipment out on the street. She takes a... I feel like I've already looked up how to say this word once. You were very cute, Sushi. No, don't put that in your mouth. No. Furtive. Tempting to avoid notice or attention, typically because of guilt or a belief that discovery would lead to trouble. Secretive. Okay. Pretty. There's not a whole lot of thoughts bouncing around in my head today. Nope. Nope. Oh, she takes a furtive glance back down the way the way the guy had gone. Then heads back toward the graffiti. Use camper to keep up. You shouldn't be out alone in a place like this. Not that I can really summon such gumption to care beyond this one walk down the street. But did you come here to die? Because that's what's gonna happen if you keep this shit up. Maybe I did. I don't know. I don't know if MC has any thoughts in their head most of the time either. What's your deal? You don't know about your deal. You worked really hard not to consider your deal at all, because the existential radio static that prickles at the base of your neck when you think about your deal is astoundingly unpleasant. Attempting to change the subject, you ask her if maybe she shouldn't get out of here while she has the chance. Is the bucket really that important to her? Marcy looks at you with a certain eyebrow raise that you're well accustomed to by now. Ah, shit. You just put your foot in it again, culture-wise. Yeah, and Steve's like, that's not to think about it. Agreed. The last time MC thought about it, MC kind of spiraled. And, like, ended up laying on the floor of Galic's house. You wish you could find a book with a crash course in Alternia, or at least a decent Wikipedia article. But it's not like there's any helpful Earth guide for idiots. At least you've never heard of one? Besides, things are different depending on where you are on Earth geographically. You imagine it's the same for Alternia? You feel positively nauseated at the idea of having to learn a whole new set of societal norms. You'll just stay in this particular city, thank you very much. Do I care about my bucket? It's a weird way to phrase it. I care about it as much as the next person who doesn't want to get cold. Also, scourge rays don't grow on coniferous fauna. Oh, that hurt my brain to try to read. She tosses the discarded sponges back into the bucket. You bend down to help, but she stops you with a sardonic glance. Most of her glances are sardonic, but this one especially so. She goes back to work on the graffiti. If you're going to hang around, you could make yourself less useless. Watch and make sure that high blood doesn't come back. Oh, yeah, for sure. You can totally do that. Of course, you won't be able to actually do anything if he comes back. Where's Remele when you need her? Maybe you could use your own limp corpse to slow the clown down. Sorry about that. Maybe you could use your own limp corpse to slow the clown down. Not that you know Marcy well enough yet to love the idea of sacrificing yourself for her. I am fully ready to sacrifice myself to her. What the fuck you talking about? Man, character development is great. Not immediately going to your death is great. MC, why did you have to have character development now? That thought sends a creeping wash of anxiety along your spine. I had to double check to make sure I'd read the last line. I'm still a bit out of it, okay? You don't understand it, so you try to distract yourself. You ask Marcy if she just cleans graffiti or if she has other jobs. Okay, well, maybe not jobs. You know nobody on Alternia has an actual job. Whatever I'm feeling, mostly. Yeah, it's... I tend to hang on to cough sex somehow, like, way longer than I should. Give me a minute, I'm getting comfy. There we go. That was more of a process with a bunch of blanket wrapped around you. Today I was feeling getting rid of this incredibly ugly piece of shit drawing. I love her. Tomorrow I might be feeling dirty front door mats. Depends on my mood. Yeah, you def get that. You are also a person of mercurial? Mercurial. Subject to sudden or unpredictable changes of mood or mind. Anyways, you're also a person of mercurial moods. Do you seek out new friends tonight, or go to one of your standby pals? Sometimes the universe just sweeps in and decides for you. Yeah, well... You are extremely weird and focused on weird shit. Well, you see, MC is a little bit, yeah, MC's extremely weird and focused on weird shit. I actually remembered to refill my water bottle before starting the stream. Which means that no matter how thirsty I get, I will still have water. I think weird is an understatement for MC. Yeah, somehow MC does tend to out-weird the, like, various, strange personalities that they're surrounded by. But also kind of magnetic at the same time. Now that's some, like, great accuracy there. The number of times somebody has gone, I don't understand why people like you so much, and they end up being our friend is kind of astounding. It's freaking me out. Understandable. Wow, thank you. Marcy dunks her sponge back in the bucket, or scour tray. Right, buckets are dirty. The drones don't make it down here very often, so there's a lot of shit to scrub. You tell her it's cool that she likes cleaning so much. Where you're from, physical labor, fuck words. Where you're from, physical labor is considered morally virtuous, but also kind of looked down on. Fuck. Maybe you could use an Earth cultural handbook on your own damn self. Who said anything about liking it? Who made the rule that I can only do what I like? She slams the sponge down hard into the scour tray, getting water down the front of her apron. Can I help you with that, ma'am? This is just what I do. What? Do you like wandering around in someone else's hoodie? Apparently, since we're still fucking wearing Malik's hoodie. Accosting strangers? Absolutely. Kind of. Sometimes you didn't choose the friend life. The friend life chose you. But Mercy isn't a stranger in a strange world like you are. She's got horns and gray skin and everything. You realize she's rusty, but come on! Oh yeah? How many burgundies do you know exactly? She is only the second, rust blood that we've encountered, isn't she? Or burgundy blood? Red? Well, one, and he is interested in, meat. But he's pretty enthusiastic about it. One might say over enthusiastic. Do you think I'm not enthusiastic? She scrubs harder just to show you just how enthusiastic she can be. A delicate calligraphy-based rendering of the word globe gobbler disappears beneath her soapy hands. Okay, maybe Damon is not the greatest example of someone enjoying their hobbies in a healthy and natural way. But you know plenty of other lowbloods with cool hobbies. Skyla, Chixie, Sarava. I'm supposed to know who these idiots are. How dare you call Skyla an idiot? Or Chixie. Or Sarava. Not all lowbloods know each other. Ah, man, that's not what you meant at all. I'm not going to explain my life story to some random alien. Are you going to help or not? Oh, well, you thought those were supposed to be... You thought you were supposed to be keeping an eye out for clowns? Yeah, well, instead you were asking me invasive questions. So now help me scrub. Despite these mixed signals, you pick up a sponge and start cleaning. This is actually a lot harder work than it looks like, and your back and shoulders begin to ache immediately. Yeah, I'm surprised more characters haven't been just so absolutely done with MC, like, from the moment they start asking a bunch of questions. If Marcy does this every day, she must be ripped under that jacket. Uh-huh. She stops talking and you just clean alongside her, worried that you're royally screwing this up. You don't know how to fix it. The graffiti is quickly disappearing between your combined efforts, and you aren't sure how much longer she's going to put up with you after that. You've got to pull out the big friendship guns and fast. She's 18. Ah. Wait. So she's one of the, like, older ones in the series, I'm guessing. You ask, in your characteristically smooth style, what's she doing after this? Any plans? Just hypothetically? Who knows? Probably I'll just look for more shit to clean. Well, it just so happens that you know a lot of dirty places. They're just exceptionally filthy. Oh. Oh yeah? Where? Ah, I wasn't expecting this to be the, like, correct path. She would be roughly a little under 9 sweeps. Ah, okay. Ah, I hate being sick. I reckon we'll start with try downtown. You suggest that this place sure looks ripe for some serious power cleaning, because wow. Filthy. Yeah, I guess. I was planning on cleaning down here anyway. The drones mostly take care of the high blood neighborhoods. Interesting. I've never had low bloods cleaning for him, but maybe he's an exception. No, he's a fucking. I mean, yes, he's an exception, but that's because he's a fucking. Please don't let this be a volume where Zebra reappears. I'm not here to explain cultural dynamics to you. At least not for free. Oh, I will pay you to talk to me. Yes, he's an exception because he's a piece of shit. You consider mentioning that you are the main character, and that's totally deserving of cultural exposition, but you doubt she'd take that well. Also, it's kind of a weird thing to say, so never mind that. You know Marcy... You show Marcy an alley you recognize. The one with the incinerator where Philippa had gotten rid of her assassin disguise. Here, maybe? Too easy. Okay, well, what about that stretch of road where Remilly killed that dude? Oh yeah, I forgot that Remilly straight up killed a dude. There's still quite a bit of purple blood spattered around. Pretty good. But no. I don't have the right outfit for blood. You have a different outfit for blood? Jesus, Piggy. Oh. What? Oh, sorry. My personal preference is inconveniencing you. No, but you aren't used to this shit taking so long to pop off. Usually you've made a friend by this point. Or you've been killed. You've been killed before? What are you, a pervy? 9 lives. In retrospect, that was also a pretty weird thing to say. You meant it as a metaphor. Sometimes your internal monologue gets out of hand and spills out into your interlocution. What does that mean? Oh, it just means conversation. Also, apparently I've looked that up before and forgotten the definition. It was in, like, I recently searched things. Whatever, dude. Hmm? You're considering just bringing her back to your place to clean up the mess you've made there, when you realize Marcy is no longer with you? You turn around to find her gazing down an adjacent street into an empty lot. Space gives you a brief twinge of recognition before it fizzles away to nothing. Probably just deja vu. Kringle fuck. Wait, is the empty lot that it's talking about here, like the one from the bad end for Give me like 4 years, I'm trying to remember. That's as close as we're getting, me, perhaps. Hey, it is. At first you don't notice the person sitting on the tire pile because without her other half, her silhouette is underwhelming. What? Oh. Well, hello. Been a long time. Please don't eat me. Ah, fantastic. Hey, Normie. Oh, it's Follicle. It's been a while. She might notice that you're a whole lot less normal than you used to be. They're right. They're weird as hell. Hey, you are also like 80% more confident than you used to be. You don't back down from insults. Perhaps Marcy is the one who is weird because she's the one who's so fucking into cleaning up after people. That's really strange. Hey, that's a little judgy. Yeah, for real. Oh, you have been expecting Follicle to join you in mocking Marcy. You didn't want to be too mean or anything. You were just really sick of having your intelligence insulted concerning stuff you absolutely could have no way of knowing about. It's the rude arc, yeah. You wanted to make her look like an asshole, but as usual, it seems to be, in fact, you who are the asshole. Marcy seems to agree. Hey, maybe go fuck yourself a little bit. You apologize. You didn't mean it. You just experience pilot confusion when there's too many friends in one place. You're sorry. You didn't mean to insult her hobby, but she actually doesn't really seem too into it. You're just trying to help. You know plenty of lowbloods who do all sorts of activities. Oh yeah? Who? Well, Follicle, for instance. She trolls. Wait. Another word. She and her boyfriend, harass people. And they seem to enjoy that. Also, there's Skyla and Trixie and Sarava. They all excel in their fields to a certain extent. Yeah, MC is very firmly taking their foot and shoving it in their mouth. Like, we are up to the knee at this point. Right. Oh, gotta plug in the laptop. So, how's that going for them? Well, you deflate somewhat. Trixie gets skeeved on all the time, and Skyla constantly has to defend her home and loses against thieves. Sarava literally had to gouge out their own eye and downplay their psychic power. Vicar... Well, you can tell Vicar... I never did figure out how his name was supposed to be said. So I'm just going to go with Vicar. Vicar is having a great time falling off cliffs and imagining the firmament above. He might be an outlier and therefore shouldn't be counted. He is amazing. What are you talking about? While you're working through your apparent classism through navel-gazing monologue, Marcy is checking Follicle out. Like, really checking her out. Who the fuck are you? Follicle slaps Marcy's hand away. Keep your fronds to yourself. Marcy raises... Marcy raises her goggles up to her forehead. You've got void rot. No shit, Troll Sherlock. Marcy gives her another once-over. She looks impressed. You honestly can't blame her. If Marcy likes grimy things, well, the Follicle is right up her alley. Dirt Eldorado. Her eyes are so pretty. Getting comfy again. I could feel that one. They did really go all out, yeah. They do, and I want them to have more power. I want them to go hog wild. Selfishly, you wish you'd met Marcy back when you were more of a wreck at the beginning of your adventure. So MC looking at Marcy, looking at Follicle and going, damn, I wish that was me. Huh? You're filthy. And you have no idea what you're talking about. Also, fuck you. I feel like that's not the greatest phrasing, Follicle, because that's what I think we're trying to get to here. Marcy touches her on the forehead, slowly this time, so as not to take her by surprise. Follicle resembles a nervous little bug trying to decide whether or not to scuttle away. Did you think the dirt helped keep you insulated? It's actually the opposite of that. If you were less grimy, the energy transfer would be easier. Oh right, Cooper isn't here, which means her giant battery isn't here either. Yeah, I sent him out for takeout. I needed a break. But won't she, die? Not instantly. Does your desktop die as soon as you unplug it? What are you, a fucking Void Rot scholar? What do you know? I know a lot of things. You ask Marcy if she's interested in medicine. Maybe she could go into that. Marcy rounds on you in stark irritation. This is the most emotion she's shown since you met her. Yeah, she is. Whatever you're trying to do here, stop. I'm not stupid. What do you think they say if I applied to be a medic off planet? They laugh their asses off and hand me a saturated scrub pole. And that's if they're feeling generous. Oh yeah, she's mad. This is what I do. So let me do it. I mean, you could still be interested in medicine. Even if it's just a side interest, a hobby. Chastened and uncharacteristically speechless, you nod and let Marcy turn back to Follicle. Okay. You really don't want to just leave it like that, but maybe the truly friendly thing here would be would be less trying to improve your friend's life and just letting them live it. Damon had told you much the same thing all those months ago. What did you do? What did I do? Oh. Not over the cat food container. But he's planning to just keep his head down and try to stay alive. It's not uplifting, but maybe not everything has to be. Marcy gives Follicle some advice as to the best way to make sure her body retains as much energy as possible. Follicle groans, and you're pretty sure that if she had eyes, she'd be rolling them. You do notice, however, that she listens. Marcy starts back down the sidewalk after that, pushing her scour tray in front of her. After a moment's hesitation, you follow, half expecting her to get mad again. Instead, she just slows down so you can catch up. She's pulled her goggles back down over her eyes. You think they're probably there more for social reasons than protective ones. Sheepishly, you apologize for being a busybody back there. Oh my god, there has been, like, character growth for MC. You're just really used to wanting to help people out. Kind of for selfish reasons, friendship reasons, but still. Yeah, it's fine. No hard feelings. You just like fixing things when they're busted, or when you've busted them through your own chronic idiocy. Sometimes you've just got to do what you can, but you think Marcy might understand that a little bit. Yeah, I think I might. That was the good one? I reckon we'll start from here. Try Uptown. It just so happens that you have connections, Uptown girls and boys. You asked Marcy how she'd like to clean a mansion. Oh no. Oh no. MC, if you turn this beautiful lady towards Zebra, I am going to wring your neck. I guess that would be cool. What are you thinking? Well, first of all, you want to bring your new friend to your stolen car. Marcy doesn't seem that interested, although she does comment that she's never been in a scuttle buggy. Then she begins picking up the crumbs from your backseat. You tell her she doesn't have to clean up after you. Bold of you to assume I'm doing it for you. You shrug. You've come to accept that some of your friends are just fundamentally difficult to understand. Sometimes you really think you're beginning to get it, and then next you remember that alien isn't just your immigration status. Marcy stares out the window as the houses get bigger and grander. The car passes beneath an archway, and a light sweeps over the two of you. Marcy stiffens. You tell her not to worry. It's just a sensor to discern your blood color. Malik gave you a plug-in to scramble it. No stress. It must be nice to have friends in high places. You ask Marcy where she lives. Wherever I feel like. Is that just a thing for the Burgundy Bloods? That they just live wherever? Depends. So she's just like the human. Her hive was destroyed or possibly up a tree like Boldir. Although it's possible she was just fucking with you. I wish you'd stop comparing me to people like I should know what you're talking about. And no, my hive is fine. It just gets boring cleaning the same fucking building over and over again. So you're fundamentally difficult to understand. Yes, MC is. You get how that could be cool, going from place to place. Like, De'Aaron goes looking for meat, and Connell and Ashaha go look for people to kill. Everyone here seems to be weirdly obsessive and hyperfixated. They're just neurodivergent. Let them be. Maybe that's what happens when you bring up a bunch of kids in a robot-regulated world where the only rule is don't get culled by. Don't get culled. And by the way, some of you are inherently inferior. Have fun. As you get closer to Zebra's hive, you begin to get chilly strep pods. What if he decides to make Marcy into one of his guests? He has that weird thing for low bloods. And she's hot. You figure she'll be safe if she's with you, but you aren't always the best at making good decisions when you have more than one friend to deal with at once. The sight of Zebra's Lucis glaring at you from the upstairs window clenches it. You can't take another kind of stare from Zebra Dad. Where are we going? I hope you weren't talking about this pathetic mess on the seat. Barely worth my time. You can make a better mess, you swear? No. I don't want a staged mess. Fuck. Okay, who do you know is kind of slob, but also not a total piece of shit? Well, I don't remember him being. Oh wait, he was kind of messy, wasn't he? Goat Dad lets you in with a hysterically happy bleep. Aw, miss you too, Goat Dad. Marcy weathers his snuffling and nuzzles, and when he tries to eat one of her rubber gloves, she scratches him behind the ears as a distraction. She gently removes the glove from his mouth. Yeah, I would have. My next guess would have been Malik, not him. I need these actually. You call out to Gallic, but he doesn't respond. Maybe he's out. The coffee pot is half full, but it's cold. Goat Dad bleats and butts you gently. Aw, poor guy. Are you lonely? Has Gallic been neglecting you now that he has a hate boyfriend? Is Gallic out with Gorgor right now? Marcy is a little more uncomfortable here than she had been in your car, but when she catches sight of Gallic's study, all of that sloughs off. It's even more of a mess than it had been last time you were here, and when he'd been trying to impress you with his intellectual clutter. Wait, important question. Didn't he mention the last time that a bunch of his, manuscript was scattered around? She gets down to work immediately, stacking books alphabetically and sorting papers into piles by subject. You know Gallic is an A-type personality who will probably go briefly ballistic at the knowledge someone has messed with his stuff, but Marcy is just so organized and thorough. Why do I feel like that's going to come into play? The manuscript. You feel sort of weird just standing here and watching her clean, so you gather up all the dishes, use dishes, and bring them into the kitchen. When you're done with that, you figure you'll just try to be entertaining. You ask her if she's seen any movies recently since you've made friends with ZBD, and started hanging out with Tagiri's anime club. You've been exposed to multiple cultural touchstones. Yeah, I don't really watch much TV. Don't worry, I don't need to be entertained. She kneels down to start dusting beneath the couch. I know you think I'm basic, and that's fine. No, ma'am, you are not basic. You are beautiful. I don't really give a shit what anyone thinks. Let alone a condescending alien with no blood color to speak of. I love that about him. I love that he has a pic of his house in his house. Yikes. So if you wouldn't mind. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Oh no. Crunch, crunch, crunch. What the hell is that noise? There you go again. Getting swept up in a friendship endeavor and totally beefing it. You forgot about Goat Dad's propensity for nomming on anything within reach, and he spent the last 10 minutes happily munching on several leather bound notebooks. Gillick's experimental word references, fuck, he loves those. He's going to murder you. Goat Dad, no! Oh no. This route has lost me a potential, husbando. Because he's going to fucking murder me when he sees what happened to the notebooks. To smooth another layer onto this farce, the front door creaks open and Gallic's voice rings out, calling to Goat Dad. who lets out an excited bleat and scampers off, trailing little white scraps. Oh, fuck. Marcy looks from you to the front of the house, down at the paper trail. Then she's out the window and off down the hill. Because because though basic she may be, she's no idiot. Man, she made the smart choice here. She fucking booked it. She's like, oh, this ain't my friend. This ain't my fucking mess. Peace. And understandable. I love the way she's drawn down there. Alright, time to go fuck up the other way. We intervening. Yeah. Who are you kidding? You were never going to leave her to fend for herself. It's against your religion of reflexively and ceasingly searching for new buddies. You aren't making excuses for it anymore. You've decided to just take what Boldir said to heart and just resign yourself to your fate. Well, that isn't exactly what she said, but a lot of it was confusing and spooky. You're half convinced she was just doing it for the mysterious aesthetic. No hiccups. You stride confidently towards the altercation, calling out a challenge to the rogue clown. That maybe messes with those less fortunate while you are on the case. And since it's been resoundingly too long since you've had a truly ironic and hilarious twist of fate befall you, as soon as you step up onto the sidewalk, the purple blood's fist connects with your head, and your head connects with the concrete. Well, that was a quick end. Rip and pepperoni, MC. Never stood a chance. Not a single fucking chance. You are right. It feels weird that Ashtaha and Shahut were already like several volumes ago. Yeah, Dark World, yeah. Karako? Having. It really is. Ah. Hold on, being a little baby. Alright, now that I'm done whining. Wow, the mic was muted. Let's keep going. Having learned the dangers of using the public thoroughfares, you've taken to dodging down byways, and skulking in rear areas, trying to spy out individuals who look ripe for friendship while avoiding the more criminally insane denizens. Just now, you're following through a winding footpath through the undergrowth surrounding a neighborhood where the local hives are spaced far apart. I feel like they're spaced far apart for a reason. You keep creeping along this footpath for safety. You should have known better. The undergrowth here is like most of the other life forms on Alternia. Evolved to ruthlessly purge the gene pool of the weak and the reasonable. Coiled, spring-loaded stalks with foot-long thorns flanking writhing bushes with razor-edged leaves, which in turn crowd tentacled flora with toothed lobes oozing liquid that hisses and smokes when it touches the ground. Extreme caution is needed, just as it's needed in every circumstance on this planet, which we have expressed no caution at all. We are aware that it needs to be happening, but we are not using it. While your time in Alternia has gotten you accustomed to the injuries, you still shrink from being impaled on sprung thorns and dissolved in acid. You should have known that eventually you would have come up against the local flora, so you proceed discreetly, avoiding poison fronds and trying not to step on trigger roots. But suddenly your vegetative focus is interrupted. You hear footsteps on the path, and then around the corner comes a small figure. Oh, you are precious. Wait, that's the one? I remember seeing that when I was like scrolling through the credits one time. Its face and horns are painted with smudged black and white marks. Despite its diminutive physique, it has some of the most impressive horns you've seen on any troll. Oh, okay, we went up. Then the small figure sees you too, and is so startled it jumps a foot, impaling its horns on an overhanging tree branch and sticking there so that its small legs pump helplessly in the air. Aww! That's so precious! You beg the small person's pardon and assure him that you are fully as startled as he is. You go on to explain that you are not dangerous, but that even if you were, you would not want to come to strife with even a small person with horns of that size. Huh? Yes, you will be happy to help him down as long as he promises not to attack you with the many bladed weapons that are stuffed into his belt, or with the dozen cans of inexpensive soft drink held in bandoliers crossing his chest. He's profiting mine. He is adorable. It strikes you suddenly that a neighborly gesture like helping someone whose horns are stuck in a tree branch can scarcely fail to kindle the light of friendship. You dare to hope that this will be the case now. Edging forward, you get close enough to see that around the small clown's neck hangs a dog tag or ID necklace. You tilt your head and crane your neck to read the writing on it. Karako? Branya! Hold on, sorry, I got all kinds of sidetracked there. Karako Pierrot. Piero? Anyways. If lost, call Branya or Sama. Suddenly this all makes sense. This Karako Pierrot must have been one of Branya's reject runt wrigglers who, having grown to childhood under her tender care, have gone out into the world to seek his fortune. That would account for his small size, short legs, and small stature relative to his horns. You eagerly pull out your palm husk, happy for an excuse to pester your old friend. But you've got zero signal out here. You wonder if the surrounding vegetation eats palm husk signals, just as it looks like it eats everything else. You disappointedly slip your palm husk back into your pocket. Maybe get the kid out of a fucking tree first. Worry about your cell signal after he's got his feet back on the ground. Honk? Is that all he says? It's just honk? You apologize for the delay, explaining that you were surprised to find that you appear to have an acquaintance in common, whom you hope you will have time to discuss later. For now, you are ready, willing, and hopefully able to help him down. You hope he's not offended if you slip behind him first. It's not that you object to bladed weapons or those who stuff dozens of them in their belts, but you feel that the ones he's wearing could ruin your look if buried into your torso, however unintentionally. You edge past the weapons, be careful also not to touch the spring thorns growing at the edge of the path, or their trigger roots. Once you're behind Karako, you grasp his horns firmly and pull, withdrawing them from the tree branch and allowing him to drop lightly to the ground. Honk! You tell him that he's very welcome. Then there's a moment of awkward silence as you try to think of something else to say. Fortunately, your new potential friend is not as devoid of social graces as you are, and gets the conversational ball rolling himself. Honk? You explain that you are indeed a stranger in these parts, and that you actually don't fit into any of the hemo spectrum categories. Loud, right? Although not quite as strange as you used to be, you like to think. You're really starting to blend in with the local color. No, you're not. Honk? Well, you'd rather not exhibit your blood just now? Your couple quart's low due to the robust conditions of life on Alternia, some of which you have recently had the honor of encountering. Honk. Oh! Leave for the baby. You sympathize. Slinking along these hidden paths in the Alternian woods can be tough on morale. The smell alone is enough to make strong men weep, and the vegetation looks like it was designed by the Marquis de Sade. Not that he knows who the Marquis de Sade is. You can't help but feel that it would be so much better if one only had a skulk buddy. You continue? Why did I read that like that? Hold on, let me retry that. You can't help but feel it would be so much better if one only had a skulk buddy, you continue. How wonderful it would be to travel these dusky lanes with a kindred spirit, a twin soul, a fellow traveler, an intimate crony. You're such an expert on Friendsim in this video. He is adorable. Yes, he is! I've known him for 2 minutes, and I already want to adopt him. This is my kid now. Huh? No, you haven't met anyone like that either, but you would certainly like to. Your new potential friend is obviously thinking seriously about this issue, so you back off, give him some space, pretend to be deeply immersed in studying one of the razor-sharp leaves on one of the writhing bushes beside the path. You aren't one to force yourself on others or try to unduly influence their friendship decisions. Okay, well, maybe you forced yourself on others in the past and tried to influence their friendship decisions. Maybe you've done this a lot, but you've recently evolved as a person. No, we can share custody. Brania and I can share custody. You now know that friendship is something that has to come authentically from within. Friendship is spontaneous. Real friendship sprouts naturally from the soul of mutual respect. The best friendships grow and ripen over years, and are not rushed or forced. Of course, you've only known this small person for about 5 minutes, but you have to start ripening sometime. You're reflecting thus on the theme of friendship when a loud pour suddenly from the sky above. It's a crackling, sizzling sound, like a chitinous thing with too many legs struggling in a hot frying pan. Kurako jumps so violently he nearly gets his horns stuck in the tree again. Looking up, you see a floating metal object, vaguely troll-shaped, but huge, faceless metal and with numerous sets of lightning bolt-shaped horns coming out of its head and neck. It's also not a very sparkling conversationalist. It remarks in a flat, echoing blare. It elaborates further. Oh my god. This terrified little hawk. I'm gonna start with run a drone, because I feel like that would go badly. I didn't already say, right? Okay, yeah. You're running wild panic. It's a drone. Even the Alternian badasses you've hung out with have been terrified of the drones. Up close, it's one of the most terrifying things you've ever seen. And it's making noises, which you didn't know they even did, which probably means something sinister. You race at top speed down the twisting path, focusing your senses to their breaking point to avoid trigger roots, razor leaves, and acid pods. At first, you hear the pattering of small feet running behind you, but as you redouble your speed, the pattering falls back and after a while is lost in the distance. MC, you bastard, you left him behind, go back and get him. You sprint for what seems like a lifetime before you finally catch your foot on a trigger root and go flying through the air, barely missing being sliced into 100 pieces of tumbling ham by the barbed spring vine that lashes across the path only inches behind you. You land in the dirt, wind knocked out of you, but otherwise unhurt. You lie there catching your breath and waiting, but nothing happens. No enormous metal monster whizzes down the path to impale you. No small clown-faced individual overtakes you on his short legs. Finally, after nothing happens, you pick yourself up and dust yourself off. You're alone on the path, and no sound of either friend or potential friend or foe can be heard. No birds sing, which is probably good. You imagine any birds native to this forest would probably sing by croaking up putrid sludge, and that sludge would be poisonous or radioactive. But leaving aside the character of the local fauna, what should you do? Keep on down the path, putting more distance between yourself and the drone? Should you go back and see if Karako is okay? You waffle for a while, then decide to go back. You sneak along the path. You sneak a long, long way, but however far you go, there are no signs of either Karako or the drone. You don't know whether the drone picked Karako up and took him away, or disemboweled him and scattered the fragments, or whether Karako left into the undergrowth and hid or escaped. Or what? One way or another, you're all alone again on this path through shit smell forest. I knew that was going to be the bad choice. We're going to leap to our proto-friend's aid. You quickly leap to your proto-friend's aid. Thinking quickly, you push Karako against the large rock that juts out from the undergrowth nearby and jump in front of him, shielding him from the drone with your body. Yeah, he for sure got swooped up by them drones last time. Then you pretend to be leaning against the rock in an attitude of tranquil repose. Several of the... I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted by his absolutely terrified face and how adorable he looks right now. Several of the bladed weapons in Karako's belt poke you in the ass, but you don't let this show on your face. Instead, you yawn elaborately and check your wristwatch. You don't have a wristwatch, but you don't think drones know what a wristwatch is anyway? You pretend to smoke a non-existent cigarette. Again, you're not giving anything away because drones don't know what cigarettes are either. But the drone has apparently taken an interest in you. It floats down between the trees and undergrowth and hovers above the path several meters from where you're pretending to relax against the rock after a long day of hiking through scenic shit smell forest. It's quite a terrifying sight, actually. The drone observes soullessly, making Karako jump so several of your internal organs are threatened. However, you maintain what you believe the local populace would call a stiff upper whistle pillow. The drone's blank metal head studies you, or it would be studying something in the or it could be studying something in the opposite direction, or even taking the drone equivalent of a piss. You can't really tell from its expression because it has no features to make expressions with. Yet boy has a lot of knives, and I fully approve. This examination or non-examination continues for some time. But your diminutive potential friend is well hidden from view, and after a while, evidently concluding that you are an inanimate object that makes unaccountable gestures with its wrists and fingers, the drone floats upward again, gaining speed until a dreary it whizzes off somewhere to find other hapless non-standard citizens to euthanize. When it's gone, you stand away from the rock and rub several sore places that have been pierced by bladed weapons. You turn to Karako to comment on the recent fervor, but stop when you see the look he is directing at you. A warm and admiring look. An affectionate and esteeming look. A look of friendship. Too much excitement in my voice. Your first impulse is to throw your arms around him and lean in, but on second thought, remembering his pants arsenal, you put out your hand for a warm handshake. Victory is so close. But before you can seal the deal on this sweet friendship transaction, you hear disturbance further down the path. God, can't the narrative chill for one single moment? Especially a moment when you're about to consummate a beautiful friendship. You turn to look. The footsteps, several sets of them, get near, and around the bend come three figures. Three figures wearing swimming outfits, lots of gold jewelry, and what the fuck is that word? Insouciant. Showing a casual lack of concern, indifferent. Lots of gold jewelry and insouciant expressions. Three figures with gills on their necks and small, stylized fins on their face. Oh man. Is it possible that you finally happened upon a group of the legendary sea dwellers? They stop short when they see you and Karako, obviously startled. They study you. You study them. Then Finhead Interloper 1, in a one piece and diamond earrings, whispers to her companions, and all three burst out laughing. Finhead Interloper 2, in a violet wetsuit and rings, slaps her thigh, and Finhead Interloper 3, in checkered swimming trunks, holds his sides. Part of you is relieved. Laughter drives out the devil, and it's the best medicine, and in any event, it's better than homicidal mania. On the other hand, this laughter isn't friendly. It's cold, mocking, supercilious. These sea dwellers are obviously laughing at you, not with you. Aww. You notice Karako's cheeks flushing purple under his paint, and his jaws clenching. However, he just stares with stony dignity at the interlopers. This just makes them laugh harder. The first sea dweller says, "What are you two supposed to be? Shrimp Cassidy and the Squamous kid?" I don't even know if I said that right. Squamous? What does that mean? Covered with or characterized by scales. Okay. A cold-baked minnow and his mutated soft-shell crab. It says her third. Looks like the minnow mall one went down on the clown. What? Causing it to... Looks like the minnow mall one went down on the clown, causing it to spurt out the other one. Sea Dweller's laughter is redoubled. You continue expressionless at these insults, but to your dismay, Karako's face is taking on a harsh, glowering look. You guess that such a tiny dude has probably been victimized by bullies his whole life, and as you happen to know, there are no bullies like Alternium bullies. Huh. You tell him to let them talk all the shit they want. Don't let them provoke him. They're trying to get him to do something stupid. If he doesn't react, they'll get bored and go away. Huh. Nope. Remember that drone. It's probably still around here somewhere. Touch a scale on their heads, and you could be rendered into Mother Grub feedstock. Hey, bottom feeders. No whispering when you're in the presence of your bathers. And you, little boy, put a respectful expression on your recognition surface. Be more like your friend the slender manatee over there. In fact, why are you two still porpoindicular? In the presence of sea dwellers, you should be bowed at right anglers. The first sea dweller seems to have an affinity for cheesy ocean puns. You bow to the sea dwellers. You have your dignity, but you also like not getting killed. Oh. Karaka remains stubbornly upright, his face getting angrier and purpler by the moment. The bladed weapons in his belt jingle from his enraged trembling. Oh! See the little clownfish? He's getting angry. Looks like he's gonna shit his pants. What did I tell you about your face, boy? Didn't your Lucis teach you anything? I doubt he even has a Lucis. A self-respecting Lucis would never let a shrimp like that out of the hive. Unless his Lucis is just as defective. Oh, angry. The Lucis cracks are too much for Karaka. Ignoring your hissed warnings, he suddenly leaps, snarling into the air, draws bladed weapons from his belt in each hand, and hurtles towards the sea dwellers. Yes, stabbing time. Oh god! Fuck it, we're leaping into the fray. Do I think this is going to get us both killed? Yes. Do I still kind of want to see him stab somebody who's been insulting him? Yeah. You leap into the fray to lend comfort and support. You would have counseled Karaka to turn the other cheek and keep turning cheek after cheek until the sea dwellers got fed up and went away, but now that things have hotted up, you're not about to let this slide. You're not about to let down the side. What? Karaka crashes into the sea dwellers, his bladed weapons whirling like a blender. You scamper close behind him and kick someone in the shin. It hurts your foot, but it doesn't seem to have any other effect. These sea dwellers are made of tough stuff. Or you're extremely flimsy. Signs have recently pointed to the latter. Your next sortie is more effective, however. Quickly thinking, you pick up a rock and throw it at the trigger root of a spring thorn growing along the path next to where the violet bloods are enduring Hurricane Clown. Yeah, I think it might be both. Is there a difference between purple and violet? The gold stalk springs out, impaling the dude with a half-dozen-foot-long thorns. He's thrown off balance, and violet blood begins to flow copiously down his body. That's a hue you haven't seen before. Huh. Kinda pretty. But these sea dwellers are made of tough stuff. He yanks the spring thorn stalk away from him, pulling the thorns out, and flings it back into the woods. Then he takes out a pocket handkerchief and starts patting his injuries gently. Sorry, it's the angry sprite. Meanwhile, Karaka's bladed weapons have not been idle, and the other two sea dwellers are likewise leaking violet blood. But these bastards are hard to kill. You remember Philippa telling you that. As you watch, one of them grabs one of the bladed weapons from Karaka's hand and buries it in Karaka's stomach. See, I knew this was going to end with us dying. Very angry 10-year-old, yeah. This, unsurprisingly, is distracting for a poor little clown, allowing two of the finny sons of bitches to grab handfuls of bladed weapons from his belt and bury them in various parts of his body. You dance around, delivering harmless kicks and curses. Oh. Karaka is still waving his weapons, but he seems to be waving them more slowly now. Then, as more and more bladed weapons are buried in his body, he seems to lose focus. The weapons he's been brandishing falls from his hand. Finally, he falls to the ground in the center of a spreading pool of purple blood. Twitches feebly for a minute, and then is still. You stare in disbelief at the corpse of one who, if he had been spared just a short while longer, would have been your friend. One despised and rejected, a clown of suffering, familiar with pain. They flogged him and mocked him and spit on him, and then killed him. You struggle to come to terms with this. Yeah, the fact that he was still going after the first, after the one to the stomach was kind of inspiring. While you're doing that, one of the remaining sea dwellers grabs you by the hair and suplexes you onto the ground. Your head snaps back and pain explodes behind your eyes. You are left lying on your back and trying to stay conscious, which is why you have a good view of what happens next. Oh. In the dark sky above you, something opens. Something even darker than the sky. A hole. Like a cave in the clouds. It widens until you can see that in the cave, a carousel with wooden horses mounted on brass posts rotates. The horses plunging up and down in time with the carnival music played by a mechanical organ. Are we going to clown heaven? Riding the horses are naked store window mannequins. Their legs swung awkwardly over the horses' backs. Their stiff arms down by their sides in whatever pose they were created. Their horns huge and wildly shaped. In the darkness above the carousel, other naked mannequins with plastic wings tied to their backs are supported on wires. And above these, in turn, a net of white Christmas tree lights twinkle against the roof of the dark cave or circus tent or whatever it is, throwing their dim starlight illumination down on the rotating carousel. All clowns go to heaven. Wikipedia. As you watch, two of the winged mannequins break loose from their wires and fly down from that dark region into the night sky in the dimension Alternia occupies. Wow, why did I have so much trouble reading that? They maneuver until the stiff hands on the ends of their stiff arms are underneath Kurako, and then they lift him up into the sky and into the dark carnival. You hear a last faint, reviving honk as they set him on one of the wooden horses, and then the hole in the sky closes, and there's nothing but their night sky above you. Oh, we didn't go to clown heaven, but Kurako did. All is silent and still again. An odd feeling comes over you. You don't think you've ever felt such a feeling. Just the reality of how utterly insignificant you are. Well, I mean, we did have that feeling, but not in a good path. Sure, you spent the last few months wandering with no desire but the desire for connection, and you are, in a way, a being unique in this galaxy, but honestly, what does that even mean? You flit in and out of people's lives, there one minute, gone the next, always moving from friend to friend. You are, for all intents and purposes, a virtual non-entity. A bland point of view vector, a neutral second-person narrator, barely coming into the picture. A retiring entity, expressing only a simple, one-dimensional desire for friendship. But just about now, you feel that things have gone pretty far. And just about now, you feel that you've had enough. Enough of arrogant high bloods. Enough, in fact, of short wavelength hemotypes, carelessly and without... What the fuck does that mean? Compunction? A feeling of guilt or moral scruple that prevents or follows the doing something that